Laura Bush once said, "Reading is the path to success in school and life. And when children learn to love books, they learn to love learning." And this has certainly been proven over and over again over the past 50 or so years in reading research, both seminal and contemporary research in Australia and internationally. Electronic books, or e-books, iBooks, digital books as they're commonly known, provide new and wonderfully exciting ways of learning to read, particularly for families with children who have some difficulties in accessing traditional texts. They range from simple digital versions of printed books to highly interactive books. The challenge for us as educators or parents is to maximise the benefits of all those features. During this session, I will provide an overview of an e-book shared reading intervention that was implemented in 2 primary schools in Tasmania. I'll outline how families were supported to use the e-books and iPads to assist their young children's early literacy development. And we'll finish the session by having a look at some of the books we used and some that I've found since. Why did I choose to use iPads? Well, originally it came about from my honours research project that I did a few years ago, and I interviewed families about their experience of the home reading program, you know, the levelled readers, the basal readers that schools send home, and the results, well, they were pretty scary really. What I found out that families were really stressed by the home reading program. They were paying older siblings to read books with their children. They were reading them to the car in the way to school because they were worried they were getting into trouble because they hadn't been read. Families were really busy. Children were having temper tantrums. They were having to bribe them to read the books, and I thought, there's got to be a better way. We have to find a way of re-engaging children in reading. So I thought about different ways we could do it and thought about the little CDs. You remember the CDs we used to get with books? And I thought, I think the novelty of that will wear off. And then I discovered iPads. I thought, well, I think we're onto something. Had a look, and there wasn't much research around at that time. I started the project about 3 years ago. So research into reading with ebooks and iBooks was really rare. Both local and international research suggests that using iPads for learning can increase motivation, engagement, and achievement. When students are motivated, they demonstrate improved achievement, they produce longer and higher quality writing samples, they read more frequently and for extended periods of time, and spend more time doing homework. However, there's always a however, and you'll see that through my presentation. iPads are not a tool that will automatically increase engagement or motivation. App selection and teacher-parent involvement can significantly affect motivation, engagement and educational outcomes. The importance of involving parents in their children's education and building effective and sustainable homeschool partnerships is reflected in national curriculum and policy documents, both here and internationally. Students with interested and involved parents demonstrate better outcomes. A focus of contemporary research has been the notion that the most significant resource for school learning is the experience of reading in the home. However, whilst parental involvement has been shown to have a positive effect, the results vary depending on the types of involvement. So if families just read the book to their child and there's no discussion, then the results aren't as high as if they have a discussion with the children. My PhD research project is one of the first to investigate the effects of families reading digital books on iPads in low socioeconomic populations. Families were given the iPads to take home, which was really new in Tasmania. They were the first school to do that, and the school was a bit apprehensive about it. They wondered if the iPads would come back to school after they'd been home, and they did, every one of them. Only one went missing, and it was an accident, and it wasn't a student. A teacher accidentally took one home and forgot to bring it back, apparently, was the story I was given. Phase 1 of the project began with just a simple survey. We wanted to find out, were families using iPads in this low socioeconomic population?